Hey guys, it's Merritt. Let's take a look at crude oil for January 15th. Today was a day where we had clarity. There's been several days in the past where we've said, hey, we could pull back to this level or that level or a wide array of levels or whatnot. But sometimes you get that confluence where you can be a bit more precise. We do always want to think of, areas, not lines. When it comes to trading, but sometimes you can have a little more precision than others. So an open right here near the point of control of the prior day. We had been having some day-to-day value migration lower, coupled with some overall balance where this market really wasn't going much anywhere at all. We haven't really gone anywhere. Let me reset this chart right quick. There we go. So we had this wide-ranging day on the 9th, and we really haven't done much outside the high and the low of that day, even though we had been drifting a bit lower. Overall, this market is much more balancing than it is directional, and that would include following today's action as well, more of the same, although a shift in value migration. So opened right here. Couldn't even trade down to prior value low, so we kind of reject that point of control. Trade up, which is above the prior day's value high and back into the 2 days ago value low. We traverse that prior day up into this area, pull back as we're rotational inside of bracketing or mirroring, if you will, January 11th profile here. And just kind of a choppy session there with kind of a spike into the close. That's the gist of it. In terms of my pre-market, I made one post that said 5150s. That's the general area, give or take 20 cents. Could always treat it as an area, but 5150s is the zone. If we do want to give it an even wider area, we could say, all right, let's go 40 to 70 even, right? So that's the general area of interest. So I thought early on, getting short into this area, the market really hadn't established a trend yet. We had seen VWAP hold a couple times, which is always kind of a caution in terms of a potential trend developing. But the market had definitely been a slower, wide-ranging movement through here. So once we saw the sellers take control, pretty abruptly there, you see that big selling hit the tape right there. That was a good place to get involved. I mentioned in the chat that as we approach this area here, really good place to take some profits to see if this thing could let loose or not. It did not, and that's the point where we kind of develop into a firm uptrend for the day. All shorts are off. And then once we get this nice push beyond our kind of zone here, especially this 5150s, we're in long only mode. There's no good reasons to be shorting. I know there was some aggressive selling, some divergences that showed up and whatnot in terms of the delta, but really you want to let context be your guide, and this market's clearly accepting back up above 5150s, 5160 area, and continued to hold that, continued to maintain this uptrend despite the aggressiveness from sellers. They just simply got absorbed by some passive buy programs in the market. Order flow did stabilize around this area, so if something had scared you out in here, I did have some students who got nailed perfect entries from right here. But if not, getting involved once that sharp selling stabilizes, whether it's here, whether it's over in here, either of those were good places to get involved again. So right from the level, here, any of those pullbacks, nice places to get involved. So kind of a situation where, hey, we have a clean line in the sand in this area. We want to be initially bearish on the session below it. You give it a good chance. You book some profits. It doesn't work out. It's time to be flexible, be nimble, shift. If you've got, yesterday we talked about how good are your levels. Well, if your levels are this good as we had them today, you have a nice clean line in the sand that you can adapt, and it can provide favorable trading in the opposite direction once you do get that contextual shift in the market. So stay nimble, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.